We trying to get paid.
Making money, make it, dollar, dollar.
We trying to get paid.
Making money,
Make it save and invest, stacking up checks. Let's go.
Impressive gains across the market. Why? No reason whatsoever. SPY up 1.32%, QQQ Technology up 1.74%. I'm not impressed because right now we're still under the 25 moving average. Today was a nice rebound day. It was a rebound day because for, the last 2 weeks we've been in a losing streak, and that's the first time in 4 months. Monster day for Tesla. I told you last week they've got a really big deal in front of them with Battery Day. And what you have here today is people positioning themselves for the big news that's going to be delivered on that day. Like Peloton, you're going to want to sell on that day because that's exactly what these people who got in today are positioning themselves to be able to do. Speaking of the broader market, what I look at on the weekly chart, I don't get a lot of hope about new highs. I don't see it in many of these stocks, but look, time may prove me wrong. I told you on Friday that Peloton was a show, and it played out exactly the way that I expected. Guys came out, opened up at $96, and they slapped the bid on those 95 puts, those 96 and over puts. And I mean, they made a killing. If you sold the calls 96 and higher, you made a killing there too. So you were rewarded nicely with that. Big deal on merger news for Nvidia, buying a UK chip maker called ARM. This is a really great pickup for Nvidia. This is a stock I really, really like. I've talked about this quite a bit. This is an acquisition that allows them to go from a company that simply focuses on GPUs to now being able to design CPUs, right? I mean, central processing units, processors that can actually be the brain of a computer or some other device. Now, I don't expect them to, just straight up go for Intel's market share in that space because ARM has predominantly been in cell phones, if I researched it correctly. So look for Nvidia to start doing some really exciting things there. But hey, you never know what they want to do with this acquisition. Nice pickup for Nvidia, and stock, really rewarded them tremendously today. Big pickup for Nvidia. The sector with the biggest gains today was real estate. That really surprised me. But what I wasn't surprised is that the biggest, gainer in that space happened to be SPG, Simon Property Group. Again, the number one way to play real estate outside of the ETF XLRE. That ETF gives you access to retail property investment as well as residential real estate sales, right? With exposure to companies like DRE, Duke Realty, Kimco Realty, ticker KIM, and also Public Storage, right? Incorporated, which is ticker PSA. PSA is a stock that unfortunately is running for, all the wrong reasons. We got over 23 to possibly 30 million people at risk of being evicted. Nobody's talking about that right now. Yes, many of them are going to come up with the money to find somewhere else to live, but many of them are not. So, we got some serious problems when it comes to housing in this country. And, I really hope that gets taken care of, or you're going to see millions of people on the streets, literally. In other news, you had Oracle get into a partnership with TikTok. They're not calling this an outright sale. The Chinese have really, not wanted to do this. If you've been reading the news coming out of China about this TikTok situation, the Chinese are really pissed off that they even have to do this. Many nationalists within the Communist Party are really saying, to hell with it. Maybe TikTok shouldn't even be in America. Why about we just keep it Chinese? So unfortunately, that's just not the way they're going to go. So this deal with Oracle is quote unquote a technology partnership. We're going to let days go by to see how this really plays out. Oracle has pretty much been a very much a buy and hold type of play. This gave them a little bit of excitement today. So, again, it's watch and tell what happens here. I was really hoping that IBM would come through and make this happen. I mean, if you pull up, the IBM chart right now, boy, I mean, they need a life raft right now. I mean, put up the monthly chart. This sucker has just been going straight down. You want a stock to sell some calls on? This is one of them right here. They need to make something happen over there. I mean, this is a company that's been around for a very long time, very storied company, but they're just not making it happen over there. Huge dump on financial company Citigroup. They announced that they are resuming layoffs. This is why I really love banks and financial companies. I love transports as well too. The administration, can tell you one thing. The feds can tell you one thing. But these companies in the financial space, in the transports, will tell you what's really going on. There's expectations also for some serious fines to be delivered on Citigroup, being that, they have some inability over the last several years to improve their risk management system. I don't know what that's about. You're going to have to look up the information. But again, we saw the news about the layoffs from Delta last week, and now Citigroup here in banking. So, again, the transports, the financials, that's where you're going to get the real deal of what's happening out here. DraftKings, DKNG, I made a video about them on my channel. Insane move with this ESPN deal. This is huge exposure for them. I think the guys behind Penn, National Gaming should be really worried here. I like what they're doing out there with Barstool. But, I mean, to be on ESPN and know that you're going to be brought up every single game, that's impressive, particularly when you're talking about the NBA that they have on ESPN, football on ESPN. I mean, that's just a lot of exposure. Possibly, I don't know if they're going to be allowing gambling on college football. Somebody clarify that for me in the chat downstairs or over there. I'm saying downstairs in the comments. So yeah, let me know if they are letting people gamble on college sports. GM came out and gave Nikola the stamp of approval. This is just like Tesla. I remember the Tesla Q boys. You guys remember that? Tesla Q for bankruptcy stocks. They put a Q at the end of it. I mean, those guys were having a hope and a prayer that Tesla would fail. And let me tell you right now, those guys lost millions. Okay, they lost hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars trying to short Tesla, and it just never worked, right? And people lost their ass. They lost entire financial services companies. You can look that up. General Motors is a company that's been on the exchange for over 75 years. They've got nearly 1,000 engineers. Buying a 10% stake in Nikola for me was all that I needed to know that the technology was legit. If you're from the Detroit area, you already know most of the GM engineers are from India, right? India and Pakistan. And, because in America, we don't really know how to teach math in this country. But anyway, those guys took a look at what Nikola has, and they said this is the real deal. If Nikola breaks 42, all right, if that goes above 42, I think you got to give this stock a serious look. A lot of shit came out about Nikola these last couple of days, but when GM came out and said, hey, we're sticking with it, we're here, we did our research and we like this, I think this puts Nikola on another level, right? On another level. And I think you got to be really serious about, looking at Nikola as a serious investment. Dave & Buster's Play, PLAY, Red Robin, RRGB. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Take a look at Lowe's today. LOW. Very impressive the last 2 days in Lowe's. I got to find out what's going on here because Lowe's looks like something that wants to challenge its high. SQ and PayPal, very nice with SQ having the better day. 5% gain in SQ today. Another disappointing day for Facebook. That's 6 straight days of selling for Facebook. I mean, I don't know what the hell is going on in Facebook. I don't know who's selling it, but they need to get off, Facebook's dick because Facebook is going to go higher. I don't really know what the hell is happening here. Maybe I'm biased, but this is a stock that deserves much, much higher prices considering what they do for e-commerce. Big pop on mRNA, that COVID news coming out of the Philippines. Of course, mRNA, won't deliver the cure, but mRNA has, as I've told you, been the vehicle for speculation when it comes to this corona vaccine. With that being said, mRNA is just not going to make it happen. They're not going to deliver. I don't care what anybody says. They're not going to deliver. Big pop on that today. But, even when this vaccine comes out, whatever company delivers on the vaccine, understand that there's not going to be any money made. Nobody's going to make any money on this thing. All right. You're going to have, 3 to 4 billion people, 2 to 2.5 billion people who need it for free, who need the vaccine for free. All right. Let's just be honest about that. Now, with all the news I've given you today, I know what you're thinking. You're saying, Sal, give me something actionable, something I can take from this. Well, let me give it to you right here. Pull up the SPY on the hourly chart. All right. We closed above it today for the first time since I think it was actually the 10th or so. All right. Which wasn't very much long ago. Now, we have been unable to hold it since the 3rd. If we close above the 25 moving average on the hourly chart tomorrow, I think you've got to buy the market. Otherwise, if we see what happened today, where we continue to get selling into the afternoon, that's one, very, very pathetic, and I think that's a very bad sign for the market overall. Again, today was a day trader's day. Today was a rebound from a losing week. That's what today was. All right. Today was not, in my opinion, a day for you to set long positions. I did not see that in the price action, particularly that we did not close above the market high or really in any attempt to break it. All right. We started buying heavy into the last hour of the day, but it faded on the last 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, pull the chart up and you'll see it for yourself. So again, a day that really left me with mixed emotions about what the future looks like. And when I look at the after hours, I'm not impressed there as well. I'm rambling a little bit now. So much to talk about when it comes to the stock market. I've got another day tomorrow of trading. So do you. Trade well.